There are a lot of people that think that the Bible will become solely digital, and that
Terrible problem.
and that things will begin to be pulled out of that. And
Manipulated.
so I know people that are stocking warehouses full of Bibles in preparation.
I say it on my radio show at least once a month. Go get yourself a paper Bible printed by a reputable company and also a catechism of the church, because you don't know what you're looking at when you pull up something on the computer. Is that really what it says? Or is it something that sounds a little bit different than that? Or is it gone completely? Those days are coming. Are you kidding with AI?
Is evil, Satan, are they working through technology and AI?
100%.
How so?
Since the dawn of technology, they've been working through technology. I mean, they manipulate everything. When I'm trying to print out a homily, the computer will suddenly jam up. It happens all the time. Anything that's going to expand God's kingdom, the computer just stops printing. And I have to say, in the name of Jesus Christ, I bind all spirits of blockage and games off this computer and this printer and send you to the foot of the cross, never to return here again. And then prints out. Things break in the home all the time. The lights will go out for no reason. And I spend a lot of the day just casting stuff out and things get back up. There's a Monsignor I know in D.C. who's an excellent exorcist. He does it full time. They text him. The demons text him.
What do they text him?
They send blasphemies. They say horrible things about Jesus and Mary. They talk about some of his cases, like this victim is never going to, they're ours forever, you can't have them. And they'll try to call that number on the phone, and it's a non-working number.
Wow.
Yeah, they do this. So imagine if they're doing that, imagine the field day they could have with AI. We already don't know what's generating it.
Yeah. It scares the hell out of me, to be honest with you, what that could develop into.
Yeah. I mean, if these computers are actually learning, if they're learning and they're going to bypass humans, that doesn't pose well. If they're being manipulated by a side that hates humanity, that's not good. You know, go back to that old movie, War Games. Like, that's got to be like 40 years old by now. But back in the day, you know, that this kid could be playing a little computer game and suddenly he's tapped into like the nuclear codes and through a mistake is going to start a world war by accident. Well, it's a nice story with a precocious kid. But now imagine that these computer intelligence can go into anything, including the military, or another country that we don't trust. They send one missile, we're going to assume it's for our harm, and we're going to have to defend ourselves. Yeah, it is dangerous.
What about social media?
I don't like it for very specific reasons. So Instagram is basically peddling envy. Twitter's peddling anger. And Facebook's basically just selling you. And for all those reasons, I don't like it. And particularly for the children. I worry so much for the teenagers and the up-and-coming teenagers, because if that's where you're going to get most of your information, it's mostly going to be false. And it's going to create, like, again, if you don't know who you are, and most teenagers don't know who they are yet, the world's going to redefine you. And it's going to tell you you're something you're not. And that you're not worthy, you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not smart enough, you're not wealthy enough. Oh, when I was a kid, we watched shows like The Brady Bunch and I Love Lucy. And although they weren't, exactly our lives, they were pretty close. Like, they lived in modest, the Brady Bunch house was supposed to be amazing in the day. It's really not that amazing. I Love Lucy, they had 2 bedrooms. And they slept in separate beds because that's the day. But it wasn't like there was envy over their lifestyles. Like, we could relate to them. Like, we get it. Today, when the kids are watching TV, it's all these mega millionaires in their big mansions with their private boats and their yachts and their airplanes. And they turn off the program and they think, my life is terrible. I don't have anything. And it's really not true, because almost 2 billion people on the planet don't live in a home. They sleep outside and they have to scavenger for food and they don't have running water, like, compare yourself to them, and we are living like kings. So there's been a whole culture of ingratitude by envy that's created through social media and Hollywood.
That's very true. You know,